The whole point of this channel, Seriously Swole, was just to have a good time. To make people laugh, make videos, and just enjoy ourselves. I'm a certified personal trainer. I've got all this knowledge in my head. I throw it out with my own little spin on things, and I just have a good time. It's important to me. I think it's also important to humanize myself more. I'm not just some goofy bastard. I've been through struggles in life, and I'd like to share some of them with you.
Imagine if your child could not eat anything without getting sick. That is the sad reality for thousands with a disease that is growing in prevalence but often takes years to diagnose.
Ashley Swan spoke with a local mother and son who are now trying to raise awareness.
It's called eosinophilic esophagitis.
Roughly 1 in 2,000 people has a condition called eosinophilic esophagitis, or EOE, that causes it to happen constantly.
They can't vomit it up, they can't wash it down, they end up in the emergency room.
Life hasn't always been easy for the Reginator. For the past 6 years, I've been suffering with an autoimmune disease called eosinophilic esophagitis. It's made it so that I'm basically allergic to every food I love. It's taken away my energy. At one point, I lost all of my muscle. I lost everything that I worked my ass off for. It's sometimes you work really hard for something. It almost becomes like your identity. When I was younger, people weren't very nice to me. People were mean to me. I was weak-minded, weak physically. I was a little bitch. And when I started working out, it was like I built an armor over my body. The people that used to be mean to me started to respect me. They put some respect on the Reginator's name. People didn't treat me the same anymore. They definitely started to treat me differently. I worked my ass off to achieve the body that I did. At the time, I was one of the strongest people, pound for pound, on the East Coast, and I was climbing. Sometimes, life hits you so hard, it takes away everything that you ever worked for. I busted my ass, week in and week out for years, to create this body, to create this image of a man that was stronger than the man he was before. And by God, I sure as hell was. It was almost like it was my identity. The gym was my identity. Reggie, you mean that guy that goes to the gym? That guy that goes to the gym, drinks protein shakes, eats T-bone steaks, lifts barbell plates? Well, I had all that taken away from me. I became so sick. I lost my muscle. I lost my energy. I lost my will to live. Fitness has been a part of me for so long, 17 years, longer than it hasn't been a part of my life. Ever since I've been a kid, I've been working out, getting stronger, trying to become a better man every day. And I had all of that taken away from me. But here's the thing. I hate when people feel sorry for me. When I was going through all this, I suffered in silence. I didn't post on social media the pain I was going through. In fact, I deleted all my social media. There was this one singular thought that kept running through my head. I'm glad that this happened to me and not somebody else. Because if there's one person that can handle this, go through this, come out on the other side better and stronger than ever, it's the Reginator. Reggie Swole, Reggie Streams, whatever you want to call me, the biggest guy in the room at all times, Seriously Swole. I don't want anybody to feel bad for me. My life is great. I have a great audience. We stream on Twitch live every week. We stream my workouts. I have my kiddies with me. We have a good time. I got my own business. Life is good. Life is great. Life throws curveballs at everybody. The thing is not everybody's willing to talk about it. I started working out in 7th grade, and I continue to work out every week. I never missed a week, all the way until I was 23 years old. And then I got sick. I didn't know what was wrong. The doctor said, you got anxiety. You're being paranoid. Here's some meds. Shove them down your suck pump, go home and shut up. Every time I ate, I would get sick. And this is new. This never happened before. I could go to a Chinese buffet, eat 16 plates, lift barbell plates, and I'd feel fine. No issues. This was new. Every time I would eat, I would get sick. What's up with that? What's up with that, Doc? Oh, maybe you're just having anxiety before you eat. What? I've been eating my whole life, bud. You think I'm afraid to eat now? What am I, a vegan? You serious? I finally got the doctor on my side. We did an upper endoscopy and we found out I had too many eosinophils in my esophagus and in my stomach. So I've got eosinophilic esophagitis and eosinophilic gastritis. So what happens is, if I eat any foods that aggravate that in any way, too many white blood cells in my esophagus and in my stomach, if I do anything to aggravate that, what ends up happening is my body will attack the food and attack myself. So my stomach lining will get inflamed. My esophagus will get inflamed. It will close. I will have anxiety, panic attacks, massive fatigue. Looking like me, I walk up a flight of stairs and I'm out of breath. And not only am I out of breath, I've got no energy for the rest of the day. Now you might be thinking, oh, so what? You go out to Chinese food and maybe it makes you feel sick? Who cares? I'm talking every vegetable you've ever had. I'm talking every fast food place you've ever gone to. I'm not going there anymore. You know what? That's fine. People say, what? Well, why vegetables? Well, here's the thing most people don't know about vegetables. And I've tried them raw and I've tried them cooked. So don't try that bullshit with me. Not trying to upset anybody here. But trust me, I've tried the elimination diet. I tried everything. I tried every fucking vegetable there is. And I know what works and I know what doesn't work. The issue with vegetables that doesn't bother most people, which is great, but they have defense chemicals in them. They don't necessarily love being eaten. So it bothers me when I swallow those. It makes me very, very sick. It'd be easier to give you a list of what I can eat instead of what I can't eat. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. I don't want to bore you with the details. But let's just say I tried eating a fruit diet. I tried the vegan diet. I tried the keto diet. Once I hit the keto diet, things were starting to get a little bit better, but I still felt very sick. I said, all right, we're getting there. We're getting a little bit better. I put on about 10 pounds. I went from 207 pounds, and in 2 months, I went down to 159 pounds. And I'm talking all of my muscle gone, all of my strength gone. Didn't look like the same person. Walked into people I know in the supermarkets, and they're saying, hey, Reggie, did you stop working out? Yeah. Yeah, I stopped working out. I became the piece of shit you thought I would one day. I gave up on that dream. No, you piece of crap, I'm sick. Have some respect. Yeah. So I try all these different diets, and I feel like I'm on the right track. I got a couple things that I can eat, and I feel a little bit better. But then I started seeing these things from Stan Efferding talking about the vertical diet. And then I saw Mark Bell and a few other people talking about the carnivore diet. And I said, you know what? I've tried all this other shit. Why don't I just try this? So I started off with just red meat. And Jordan Peterson and his daughter also eat that diet, and they feel very great, and they've got autoimmune conditions as well. So what I found was this. All of my symptoms went away after about a week. Slowly, they dissipated. The fatigue was gone. The low sex drive, gone. No energy. No motivation. Nausea. Fatigue. Brain fog. Slowly, all of those things faded away. And I started to feel more like myself. So I started hitting the weights again. This is a 2-year process it took for me to get here. Because I didn't even know what was wrong at first. The doctors weren't cooperating. They weren't helpful. And at the time, EOE, or EG, eosinophilic esophagitis gastritis, not only was there no cure, there never will be, maybe, but there was no medicine at the time. There was no help at the time. I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars I spent listening to doctors tell me, I'm sorry, but science hasn't come far enough for us to help you yet. But thank you for the money, asshole. What a defeating time in my life. But once I tried the carnivore diet things started to look up. So I started hitting the weights again. I started putting on a little bit of muscle again. I got up to about 177 pounds, but I plateaued. I felt flat. I didn't have enough energy to lift the way I used to. Something was still wrong. So I started listening more to what Stan Efferding was saying, talking about the vertical diet, white rice. And I heard other people that did carnivore tried white rice and it works for them. So I tried white rice. Instantly, I felt like an animal again. My muscles finally had those carbohydrates that they had been craving. I started to grow again. I started to build muscle again. I started to feel like myself again. So let's fast forward a few more years, and here we are. We're streaming on Twitch. We're meeting people all over the world. We're sharing our story, and we're having a good time. That's what I want. I want people to know who the originator is, not just some asshole that lifts weights in his home gym. I want to show young kids that they can do anything they set their minds to. You got a lot of people out there that are fitness influencers, and they're on massive amounts of drugs. And it's a bad example for these young kids. I don't care what their attitude is. They could be the nicest people in the world. And that's great, but you're giving them unrealistic expectations of what they can look like. I'm a natural bodybuilder. I deal with autoimmune issues. I have every excuse under the sun to not do this some days. If you're watching this and you haven't been in the gym in a long time, maybe you're afraid of people judging you. Maybe you're afraid you're not good enough. Maybe you're afraid that you're not enough. Well, I'm here to tell you that you are. You are enough, damn it. I built myself up. I worked so hard to become the person I was. And I had it all taken away from me. If you never take that step in the gym and bust your ass, you'll never know what you're capable of. You'll never take your life by the balls. You'll never be in charge of your own destiny. Stop being afraid. Stop listening to the haters and get out there and kick some ass. There's always going to be somebody that talks shit about you. I've been told I've been taking steroids since I was in 7th grade. Get out there, bust some ass, lift some weights, drink some protein shakes, eat some T-bone steaks, and lift those barbell plates. Yeah!